Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. Summary: Slaughterhouse-Five is a novel by Kurt Vonnegut, published in 1969, which blends science fiction, autobiography, and satire to tell the story of Billy Pilgrim, an optometrist and World War II veteran who becomes unstuck in time. Billy experiences moments from his life out of order, traveling through his memories of war, his mundane post-war life, and his time spent with aliens on the planet Tralfamadore. The novel, centering on the bombing of Dresden, explores themes of fate, free will, trauma, and the absurdity of war, with Vonnegut's dark humor challenging traditional narratives of heroism and sacrifice. Plot summary. 1. Introduction and the bombing of Dresden. The novel begins with Vonnegut's own reflections on his experience as a soldier and prisoner of war during the Allied bombing of Dresden, Germany, in 1945. He discusses the difficulty of writing about war and establishes the book's central phrase, "So it goes," as a refrain to underscore the inevitability of death and tragedy. Vonnegut introduces Billy Pilgrim, a soldier who, like himself, was held in an underground slaughterhouse, Slaughterhouse-Five, in Dresden during the bombing, which would become one of the defining experiences of Billy's life. 2. Billy becomes unstuck in time. The novel shifts to Billy's life, where he is unstuck in time, reliving episodes from different parts of his life at random. He moves back and forth between his traumatic experiences in Dresden, his post-war career as an optometrist, his strained family life, and his encounters with the Tralfamadorians, an alien race who abduct him. This fractured structure reflects Billy's fragmented psyche, shaped by trauma, and conveys a sense of disorientation, symbolizing the lasting effects of war on his mental state. 3. Life as a prisoner of war and the horrors of Dresden. Billy's wartime experiences, especially his time as a prisoner of war in Germany, haunt him throughout his life. He and other soldiers, including the bitter Roland Weary, are captured by the Germans and transported to Dresden, where they are housed in Slaughterhouse-Five. Billy witnesses the horrific firebombing of Dresden, which kills thousands of civilians and devastates the city. The novel describes Dresden's destruction in stark, detached terms, emphasizing the senseless destruction of life and challenging the notion of glory in war. Billy's trauma from the experience leaves him psychologically scarred, his mental health destabilized by the senseless carnage. 4. The Tralfamadorians and the philosophy of "So it goes." The Tralfamadorians, who view time as a simultaneous continuum rather than a linear progression, help Billy understand the nature of time and mortality in a way that humans do not. They tell him that every moment exists eternally, allowing them to view life's happy and tragic moments without judgment. This perspective leads to the novel's refrain, "So it goes," whenever death or destruction occurs, symbolizing acceptance of the inevitable. The Tralfamadorian philosophy teaches Billy that free will is an illusion and that life is a series of unchangeable events, which he begins to accept as he moves through his experiences. 5. Post-war life and the struggle with reality. After the war, Billy returns home, marries Valentia Merble, and builds a career as an optometrist. However, he remains psychologically affected by his experiences, haunted by visions of war and death. He has recurring nightmares and suffers from episodes of dissociation, during which he revisits moments from the war. His marriage to Valentia is unfulfilling, and he feels disconnected from the people around him. Billy's time with the Tralfamadorians and his altered perception of reality prevent him from fully engaging with the conventional expectations of society, illustrating the ways war has permanently altered his outlook on life. 6. The abduction and life on Tralfamadore. In his late 40s, Billy is abducted by the Tralfamadorians and placed in a zoo on their planet, where he lives in an enclosure with Montana Wildhack, an actress also taken by the aliens. They live together in captivity, with Billy finding a strange comfort in the Tralfamadorian philosophy, which teaches him to focus on positive memories and ignore the painful ones. His relationship with Montana provides some companionship, though it is tinged with the surreal absurdity of his situation. This surreal episode highlights Vonnegut's blend of science fiction with satire, emphasizing the absurdity of trying to find meaning or normalcy in a chaotic and uncaring universe. 7. Acceptance of mortality and the final return to Dresden. Billy continues to move through various moments in his life, repeating the horrors of Dresden and his post-war traumas in a ceaseless loop. He realizes that he cannot escape his memories but can view them differently, seeing them as unchangeable parts of his existence. Billy comes to accept death as a natural part of life, shaped by the Tralfamadorian belief that each person's moments exist forever. By returning again and again to Dresden and so it goes, Billy accepts that he cannot rewrite the past or alter his future, but he can view his experiences with a degree of detachment and acceptance. Key themes. 1. The absurdity of war. Vonnegut uses dark humor and irony to emphasize the senseless brutality and destruction of war. By showing the horrific events of Dresden alongside the trivial aspects of Billy's life, the novel critiques the glorification of war and the myths of heroism, revealing war's chaotic, destructive nature. 2. Free will versus determinism. The Tralfamadorian's philosophy challenges the concept of free will, teaching Billy that all events are predetermined and unchangeable. This fatalistic outlook provides Billy with a sense of peace but raises questions about whether individuals can truly shape their destinies. 3. The impact of trauma. The novel portrays how Billy's wartime trauma fractures his perception of time and reality, forcing him to relive moments of terror and pain. His condition reflects the effects of post-traumatic stress, highlighting how soldiers often struggle to reintegrate into society after experiencing war's horrors. 4. Death and acceptance. Slaughterhouse-Five uses the refrain "so it goes" to express acceptance of death as a natural and inevitable part of life. This perspective encourages readers to view life's tragedies with detachment, reflecting both a resigned outlook on mortality and a coping mechanism for dealing with loss. Conclusion. Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut is a profound, satirical exploration of war, fate, and trauma. Through Billy Pilgrim's journey across time and space, Vonnegut presents a powerful critique of war's destructiveness, the illusion of free will, and the struggle to find meaning in life's chaos. The novel's blend of science fiction and dark humor underscores the absurdity of war and the ways in which trauma shapes human experience, making Slaughterhouse-Five a timeless meditation on survival, memory, and acceptance.